Your next update at 11:28 on the traffic leader KCBS. Here's your KCBS 6-day forecast. Monday, sunny skies after a little morning overcast at the coast and along the bay. We're looking at highs upper 60s to low 70s at the coast, upper mid-80s bayside, 90s inland. The rest of the week, partly to mostly cloudy at the coast, plenty of sunshine by the bay and inland with highs generally mid to upper 60s at the coast, 70s to along the bay, low 90s inland. Right now in San Francisco, Berkeley, and Sonoma, it is 57 degrees. In South Francisco, 59 degrees. In Palo Alto, it's 64 degrees. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. KCBS News Time is 11:20. With Bay Area weather becoming warmer, it's a good time to remind they need to be careful not only for themselves but also for their pets. If you see any of the following symptoms in your dog or cat, they may be suffering from heat stroke. This would be excessive panting or open mouth breathing, drooling, vomiting, and diarrhea, changes in gum color, staggering, non-responsiveness, and even possible collapse. Dr. Lori Teller, president of the American Veterinary Medical Association, has advice on what to do if you see any of these.
Get some towels and run them under cool water, not super cold water, not ice water, just normal cool water out of the tap. Wrap your pet in those wet towels and then seek immediate veterinary attention. There are lots of changes going on internally, affecting the brain, the kidneys, the liver, the heart, and the cool wet towels will help to start bringing the body temperature down.
I'm Tara Capps. When the family of Habits Law represents your family, we put a whole team of people to work on your case. We cover all the expenses. Our payment is a percentage of the money we win for you. If we weren't good at what we do, Habits Law could not survive. When you've been injured in a traffic accident or in any other way, call Habits Law. The first thing we're going to do is make sure you get some help immediately. We're going to make sure you have what you need. We answer questions and solve problems 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Tarek will take your call. I will take your call. Your case manager will take your call. Every person on your legal team will take your call. When you've been injured, you need help. Habits Law is here to make sure you get that help. Financial help. I'm Omar Habis, and I want to be your advocate. We have an office near you. Visit habitslaw.com. HABBAS law.com.
Starting August 21st. The blanket of air that surrounds Earth screens. That's good for life, but bad for astronomy. It means that objects that produce those forms of energy are invisible. Yet those objects are some of the most energetic and interesting in the universe. So astronomers really want to see those wavelengths. One solution is to send their telescopes into space. The early ones was launched 50 years ago today. Named Copernicus, it was the last of 4 craft in the series of orbiting astronomical observatories. The series was managed by Nancy Grace Roman, a NASA astronomer and the first woman to oversee a major spacecraft project. A new space telescope, scheduled for launch later this decade, is named in her honor. Copernicus had 2 instruments. With them, the craft discovered the first long-period pulsars, the crushed cores of once mighty stars that spin once every few minutes. It kept an eye on many pulsars that spin in just a few seconds. Systems that emit a lot of X-rays. And it studied the hearts of galaxies that contain super encircled by disks of superhot gas. Copernicus operated until February of 1981. Its findings greatly expanded our knowledge of the ultraviolet and X-ray universe, a universe that's hidden from the surface, comforting atmosphere. You can find out how to subscribe to our daily program at stardate.org. For the McDonald Observatory, I'm Billy Henry. KCBS News Time is 11:24. The federal government is putting airlines to treat flyers better when they're hit with flight delays. Natalie Tavidian reports from Los Angeles International Airport.
The Department of Transportation wants airlines to step up and refund clients for cancellations, or else they say they'll spend. This comes after a really high record of complaints about massive delays and cancellations of domestic flights since the start of the year. This person traveling to LAX tells me one of her delays set her back a couple hours.
I didn't ask about any type of credits or refunds, but I feel like I should have. But there was nothing offered to us on the flight or like during the wait time. So it's a long time to go, I don't know, without food that you thought you were going to be getting.
U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says he wants airlines to refund passengers money and offer meal vouchers if domestic flights get delayed for more than 3 hours. The department is also working on a website that'll clearly display each airline's cancellation and delay policy.
After a century of growth, peak car is just 14 years away.
We're talking about a peak in sales of passenger vehicles, which we see happening at about 2036.
Andrew Grant is with Bloomberg New Energy Finance.
And we're talking about a peak in the number of vehicles on the road or in the parking lots of the passenger vehicle fleet. And we see that just a few years later, 2039.
One of the key changes is urbanization and the way in which people think about car ownership.
So in our outlook, we have an increased level of shared vehicles, such as ride-hailing vehicles, taxis, and fleet-based car-sharing vehicles, and the introduction of robo-taxis that are kind of eating into that privately owned passenger vehicle fleet.
On top of that, some countries are seeing a drop in the driving age population. But despite the outlook, the vehicle fleet around the world is seen growing for at least another decade. Charlie Pellet, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
Shouldn't you breathe clean air all day, every day? Help protect yourself with IQ Air's Health Pro Plus Air Purifier, the #1 large room air purifier. These Swiss-made air purifiers were chosen by the Hong Kong Hospital Authority not only for SARS-CoV-1, but also SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID-19. Using patented industry-leading hyper-HEPA filtration, the Health Pro Plus captures particles down to 0.003 microns, the smallest that exists. Now, and for a limited time only, use the promo code KCBS5 and save 5% on your Autumn or Health Pro Plus air purifier. That's IQAir.com/US. Help protect your loved ones and get the healthy indoor air that you deserve today.
Hey, we've got a great deal for you. Get 4 tickets and parking for all Friday night games starting at just $39. Pick from great matchups, post-game fireworks and drone shows. Drive it through and head to the Coliseum with friends and family any Friday night. 4 tickets and parking starting at just $39 for the full group. Tickets are available at athletics.com. That's athletics.com.
I'm a talking gopher, here to encourage you to buy insurance, because you should. Spokes animals. After all, who knows more about
This spokes animal has been interrupted by AAA Insurance for a special offer. Buy a new AAA auto and/or home insurance policy. $176 in savings and get a $100 gift card with purchase. With savings like that, AAA doesn't need spokes animals. AAA, outsmart life. The gift card offer is valid on qualifying policies in California only. Visit AAA.com/promo for terms.
Time to update the roads this Sunday night. We go to the KCBS Traffic Center and Frank Munich. And it's time for us to take a look at a new problem, this time on the Carquinez Bridge. We have a hit-and-run crash being reported there, and not a lot of additional information for the car that did the hitting. We don't know where the car that got hit is. Again, that's on the Carquinez Bridge, eastbound 80, apparently just before you get on the span, and westbound 80 before Manuel Campos Parkway in Fairfield would still have a stall in the far right lane. Your next update at 11:38 on the traffic. Mostly cloudy overnight at the coast, partly cloudy near the Bay, clear inland. Tomorrow KCBS. Republican blowback continues over the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago.
I'm Jennifer Hodges. Kids and sleep, what experts say parents need to know.
Also, it's called impulse spending. We'll tell you how much we spend on that.
CBS News Brief. When it rains, it pours, and that can be dangerous, says CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
Don't get me wrong, Texas absolutely needs this rain. In some spots they are in a exceptional drought. That is the highest category of drought, all brought on by one of the hottest and driest summers on record. But they're getting it all at once, and that is not a particularly when you have soil that is as parched as it is right now in Texas.
Texas Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw says there were other ways the Justice Department could have gotten the documents it seized from former President Trump's home in Florida. FBI agents executed a search warrant 2 weeks ago.
We wanted accountability, we want transparency, and the criticisms that we're leveling against the FBI and DOJ are fully warranted.
Crenshaw was interviewed on CNN. CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
News time, 11:32. Good evening. I'm Peter Finch. A new survey from Slick Deals shows that Americans spend, on average, $314 a year on impulse buys. That's up from $276 in 2021 and $183.
Inflation's at a 40-year high, and there's this continued fear of possibly going to a recession. Why are we spending more on these impulse buys?
So, Dan, I looked at this survey just before the call, and I think there's some really interesting definitional issues that we need to understand. And here's kind of the point. Nowadays, shoppers are almost always on. There's no this idea that I'm going on a shopping trip. Because you pick up your phone, suddenly you see something, you're shopping. You're sitting an article, suddenly you see something, you're shopping. So this airtight definition of I was on a planned shopping trip versus an unplanned shopping trip that used to be the way you used to define things in the past, that's just not holding up anymore.
I would imagine, or maybe not, does this have some link to the pandemic and how we changed our shopping habits when we wanted something because not everything was available because of supply chain issues?
Definitely. And so I think what happened in the pandemic was people spent so much more time online, go online shopping. So I think when you ask people about what does impulse shopping mean, I think more and more people are telling you that anytime they're online or they look at something and they buy, they're probably classifying that as impulse shopping. And that's part of the reason you're seeing this rise in the numbers. So again, what I'm saying is there are some trends in the data. I'm challenging the question of what does it mean to be impulse shopping anymore.
So we really have to change the definition of that word then?
I think so, because if you're always on, and what does that mean anymore? If you look at that survey example, one data point I'll share with you is 25% of the samples said they bought vehicles. Like I suspect that some kind of automobiles